Hey peeps, so I'm back for another video, and this time I want to go over my makeup brush collection. So I'm going to be showing you my personal brushes, and I just want to show everybody what I have because so many people compliment me on my makeup and things like that. And of course I am working towards being an influencer, but I am currently not on any PR list or get any free products. So everything I have as far as my makeup brushes have been provided by gift or by me. Also, I wanted to show you guys that I took time to build the brushes I have, and my first couple brushes were gifts for like Christmas and my birthday. I know we see like all these influencers with a whole bunch of stuff, and it makes us feel like, oh, we want that, or we should have that, or we need that to be successful or be better at makeup or a makeup artist. And really I work off of what is very minimal, or what would be considered minimal based on what we see thrown at us every day on social media. So I just want to show you guys that you can do really bomb looks with just a few makeup brushes, and I might have more than the average person, but in compared to who you see on Instagram and YouTube, I have like nothing pretty much. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and show you my brushes. And once again, these brushes date back from like 7 to 10 years up until this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the beauty blender, which I'm just gonna count this like in there with a brush because it is like a utensil that you use to apply and blend the makeup, which is the same as what you do with brushes. So the beauty blender, I do have the original beauty blender, which you can find at Sephora, and they do also sell them at Ulta. This was like $20. I was like, what? When I went to go re-up for my clients, to like get one for my clients, I was like, I don't remember spending $20 on this little sponge. Like, what are we doing? Like, I was just like, because I had went into so I actually bought my second one from Sephora. Yeah, I did buy this from Sephora also, and I went in there with the intention of buying like 2 or 3 beauty blenders, but girl, this is like $20. I was like, oh no, I'm just gonna go ahead and get one then. But yeah, hopefully, you know, one day I'll be able to get some more, maybe end up on a PR list or something, you know, dreams. So then the next brush I'm going to show you guys is this one. I have the Morphe M439 brush. I use this currently as a foundation brush, which I didn't always use it as a foundation brush. I can't actually remember what I used to not use it at all. So I didn't used to use it as anything different. I just didn't use it at all. I think I just didn't like how big it was. But then I started using it as a foundation brush within the last like 2-3 years, and it's pretty okay as a foundation brush, but you can tell that I've had it for a long time just because some of the bristles are starting to like come out and sticking out. I had this ever since 2016-17ish, when I had my apartment. I got me my first brushes that I bought myself, and that was like a Morphe like bag of brushes or something. I have a video on that also, so I'll go ahead and link that video in the eye so you guys can check that out. But yeah, so this is the Morphe M439. Once again, it's dirty. I used it today to do my makeup, but yeah, I use this for foundation. So I'm gonna keep going on just with the Morphe brushes that I have. So this is like a Morphe angled brush. I'm not sure what the number is because as you can see, it has come off of the like handle, and honestly this happened very early on that it came off of the handle. So I'm just like, yo, I didn't even like barely brush my brush, and for a long time I didn't know what to brush or clean my brushes with, so I wasn't cleaning them. And I have like, I don't break out a lot, so it wasn't a big deal for me not to clean them. But yeah, so I was like, this is just quality, period, point blank, that it came off like that. So I'm not sure what brush this is, but as you can see, it is an angled brush and it's black bristles all the way through. And I use this brush typically for contour. That's what I used it today. So I used it to blend in my liquid contour. You can use it to do powder also. This brush also isn't as dense as some of the Morphe brushes that I have felt. It's very it's like dense, but it's not very dense, and I don't know if it helps just because it's like tapered like that. But yeah, I use that to do right here and then blend all the other contour except for my nose. Okay, so another Morphe brush that I have is the Morphe M441 brush, which is like a holy grail for most of the makeup artists that you see doing YouTube or Instagram, or influencers on Instagram by way of makeup. They are using the M441 blending brush, which is a part of the collection that I got back in 2016, 2017. So I've had this brush. Mine is not as soft as like a new brush would be, and I think that's just because me using it over time, it's kind of prickly a little bit, but the new ones are way softer. But I really do like this as a blending brush. I did go ahead and purchase like 2 or 3 of these for my clients as well. I think 100% like beauty, I forget her actual name right now, Beauty by Melissa, or Melissa, y'all know who I'm talking about. She uses this, and then like I'm pretty sure like B. Marie, who's the other people, Taylor Made Jane, Kiki Adams. Oh no, I think it's Kiki Adams I'm talking about. Kiki Adams like definitely uses this brush. Everybody else, I'm just sure that they have it because it's really a bomb blending brush. Then this is a Morphe brush. Once again, it has fallen off of the handle. One of the people that I follow on YouTube, she said that she just takes super glue and puts hers like back on, but I don't got time for all that. This brush, I was at one point using this for the contour of my nose, but I started feeling like it was too big, especially for my nose, because like I'm a small person, so I have small features. So I was just like, no, I'm not going to use this anymore for my nose contour. I will use it like randomly because I know how to work with it as a nose contour, but currently I don't really use it for anything. So yeah, do y'all have any ideas on how to use this brush? Let me know in the comment section. And then the last Morphe brush that I have in my personal collection is the Morphe E37. So a lot of times I use this brush for the inner corner, inner tear duct area, and like possibly could use it for like under the brow area, the brow bone area, but mostly I just use it for the inner corners or for any like random detailing work that you need to do, which if you're doing like mostly everyday looks, like you're not gonna need it for that. But if you're like an MUA or trying to be an Instagram influencer, then you would want this for like more detailed work. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to my Real Techniques brushes. So I really love my Real oh my god, why can't I say this? My Real Technique brushes. I really love them. So one of the brushes that is like my super favorite, like holy grail brush, is the Real Techniques blush brush. So the blush brush, I really love this. This is what I use today to apply my brush. And then also what I do with the blush brush is I use it to apply my highlight as well. I am going to start trying to use a highlight brush to apply my highlight, but I just feel like if you just apply the blush on one side of the brush and then flip it, that works perfectly fine. Like, why dirty up multiple brushes, you know? So that's how I apply my blush and my highlight, is with this blush, or this blush brush most of the time. Then my next favorite from the Real Techniques brushes is the eyeshadow brush. Base shadow brush is what it's called, and this is just to apply shadow. So I definitely want to get more of these brushes for my clients, because I actually don't have this brush for my clients right now. And the only reason why I didn't get it the last time that I purchased brushes for my clients is because it comes in a pack with this one, and this one I don't like. So this one is the deluxe crease brush, and I use it like if all of my brushes are dirty, like just too dirty, and I'll use this one. But honestly, I don't like using it. I just think it's too condensed to really move the product in a airbrushed way. It is more of centering the product in one area, and it doesn't really blend it out so effortlessly and like making it just seem that airbrush like fluffy, you know, gradient effect. Like it's more like pinpointing it. And like if you're going to be a blending brush, I don't need you to be doing that. So this one is called, once again, it's called the Deluxe Crease Brush, and I really don't recommend this one, but I do see a lot of people use these type of brushes. I 100% have seen B. Marie use a brush like this to blend, and like she clearly never mentioned any problem that I'm aware of, but I don't like it. But I really do love this to apply eyeshadow for the, you know, actual eyelid area. And then the last Real Technique brush that I have, let's see if I can figure out what it says, because it's kind of wiped off. Because these brushes, these Real Technique brushes, actually I do believe my sister bought this for me, like, I don't know, back when I was like 19 or something, or like 17, 18. I can't make out the name for this one, but it does come in like packs or whatever. They all kind of come in packs. There are some that come like individual, like the blush brush comes individual. So the lower lash line is what I use this for, to apply like product like right under it, like when you're doing like a smoked out under eye type of situation. I do that just to place the color, and then also I will use this for the inner tear duct. So once again, just a small brush that will help you with detail. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my next favorite brushes, and really these brushes are not put into order of like, oh, I like this one the most and then this one. These are just my favorites, period, of brushes that I use and that I found over time that I really like. So I'm gonna move on to Eco Tools. So Eco Tools, I really like their brushes. They're just really fluffy, and I do think that they're like conscious of like, what's it called, the environment and stuff. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's their whole shindig. But I really do like Eco Tools. So this brush in particular, none of them have names on them. Well, some of them have names, but this one doesn't. But it's just like a blush brush or like a face brush. It's really nice and round and fluffy and soft, and I've had these for years. Also, like, this is like my first brushes I ever had, and once again my sister got these for me when I was like 16, 17 or something. So this brush I use, I mean, honestly, this can have multiple uses, and just depending on what brushes are clean and not clean is what will determine what I'm going to use it for. So I think most of the time what I do use it for is to just wipe away the powder under the eye when I bake. And I really don't bake, so just when I'm setting, what I do is with the beauty blender, I set the powder and then I quickly wipe it away. I don't let it sit there. I never bake most of the time, or bake my clients. I just think it's not necessary. I just think it's like so, like, not even a thing that needs to be done for real. If you bake, let me know why you bake, and if you bake and set, tell me why you set, and then tell me why you bake. Like, what are the differences in your makeup routine for doing that sometimes and doing the other thing other times. So yeah, I usually use this to like wipe away, but you can use this for blush, and you can use it to contour. You can use it for a brush to set your face. Like, this is an all-purpose type of brush. So another Eco Tools brush, this is called Accent Shadow. I really do like this shadow brush. I actually have 2 of these for clients and 1 for me, and then I want to get some more for me and clients. But this is one of my favorite shadow brushes, so I really like this brush. And let's see, which one is this? This is a liner smudge brush, which I really don't use it for that purpose. I kind of use this for more detail work, inner corner. It's just really small, so it's not something you really want to use for eyeshadow, because it's not going to apply as much product as much as or as fast as possible. So just for like small little detailed work. And then also I could use this for powder when I'm doing my brows because it's small enough. If you don't have like skinny brows or you're just trying to make your brows thicker, definitely I have used it for that before also. And then I have this brush from EcoTools, which, let me see what it says. This one doesn't have a name either. So I use this brush for shadow. It really picks up the product pretty well, and I don't really see like what else you can use it for. Like, I mean, you can use it to like pat like liquid product down, but it really has no other purpose to me as far as the way it looks, other than to use it for shadow. Another detailed brush, this one is called Detail Liner. Boom. So this is a detail liner brush. So I'd probably just use this for eyebrows or the inner corner. I really don't do much with these small brushes. Like, I just feel like they don't have that much of a purpose unless you're doing like some crazy detailed look. And then the last brush for the EcoTools is the brush that I now use for my contour on my nose. So this is exactly what I use today. So I just, you know, pat like this and then kind of blend down a little bit. And it is angled and it's just smaller than that Morphe brush that I showed you. So that's what I use this brush for, because it is perfect for that. Okay, so I only have a few more brushes in my personal collection, so let's try and go through these fast, because they're not really collections anymore. These are just like random brushes that I have. So I really do like this e.l.f. brush, which is labeled as a blending eye brush. So I really love this for the actual crease area of my eye. So what I use as a transition, I will use that M441 Morphe brush to lay down the first color that's gonna like be what is transitioning it, and then the actual crease color, I use this because it's more controlled, smaller and tapered, and doesn't flare out as much, so it can pack that color in there a lot better. And then you go back with the Morphe M441 brush to kind of blend it out. So that's what I use this brush for, and it's e.l.f., so affordable. Then we have a Wet n Wild brush, which I have used for liner. It's just a liner brush, and it's angled. I'm gonna have to work with it a little bit more. I haven't worked with it that much. It's kind of, for me personally, I feel like it's kind of difficult just because of like the angle of it, but I'll just work with it a little bit more to see if I actually like it or not. I can't really tell you guys right now. But then here is a random Sonia Kashuk brush that I got just to do detailed work. I don't know if it has a number on here. I kind of use this sometimes when I'm doing like cut creases, and or just when I need to apply like a little bit of a color into like a small area. Maybe if you're doing a halo eye, you'd want to use this for like the center when you barely have anything, or if you're only trying to apply a little bit of a pigment, you can use a small detail brush like this. And then I have this random brush that is actually probably from Joann's. Yeah, I think it is from Joann's. So this is not a makeup brush. This is a paint brush. This is the 8 Horizon Group USA shader, and it's made in China. So yeah, I just had this, and I actually got it for costume makeup. So, you know, when I do my October Halloween looks, I got it for that while I was at the store. But I tend to use this one in particular for my makeup now. So I use this for cut creases sometimes, and I sometimes use it to underline the bottom of my brows to shape them. So yes, sometimes you can use just actual like craft brushes and paint brushes. A lot of makeup artists do that as well. And then another paint brush that I have is the 2 Loew Cornell Soft Comfort Chisel Blender, and I use this. This is what I 100% use to shape brows, and I have to get more of this brush to use on my clients. A lot of times makeup artists use bigger brushes because they say, oh, you can move across the brow faster, but I prefer to use this small brush because what I say is you then are able to control what is happening more. So, you know, if you're moving with that big brush, any movement can, or any wrong movement can like cause more of the brow to be messed up, versus if you're using a smaller brush, if you mess up, it's not going to be that big of a space or big of a mess up because the brush is so small. But this just gives you more control because it is small, and I feel like I move just as fast as when the makeup artists use those bigger brushes. So then my last brush that I have in my personal collection is the Pro Drawing Detail Dessin Precision 40, which is from Sephora. So once again, just another detail brush. I literally use this just for random small details. This one I don't use for my inner corner. Like, I would only use it if I was desperate. But yeah, this isn't really a brush that I use all the time, but it's in my collection, and sometimes you have to make do with what you have, especially when you are on a time crunch. Yeah, so that is all of my brushes. I hope you guys liked all that information and just to see what I have. I will list the number of brushes total that was on the screen over here somewhere, and I hope that that is kind of like encouraging to you guys that you can have a small amount of brushes and still be able to build your talent and your know-how in doing your makeup or doing other people's makeup, and you don't need all those things that you see. Let me know if you use any of the brushes I named for something different, or if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please thumbs up, comment, and share, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.